Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. This is a daily inspirational show for those of us who are fighting in this political revolution to transform our government into one for the people. Please like, share, and comment, even if you're here later on. Most of the views of this show happen later after the live premiere. Please comment and do all that. Any participation in the show helps us show up better in Facebook's algorithm and get out to more viewers. So we need to be the media. Do your part. Please like, share, and comment. Plus, I love reading your comments. But we'll get started. I started this show about a month and a half ago. This is a daily little inspirational show that I started because I thought we needed more positivity. There's more than enough negative out there, and you have to believe in yourself, in what you're doing. If you want to win, if you want to achieve things, you have to believe. You don't win a fight with a half-ass attitude, like, okay, I showed up, let's do this. No, you've got to put in the work, and it all starts with believing in yourself. If you don't believe in this, no one will. We have got to inspire people. We need to believe this so deeply that it inspires others to get involved. Let's grow our movement through hope and inspiration. Even though we could easily rely on fear and urgency, that clearly isn't working. People ignore responsibilities, and they shy away from things that they think will be too hard. But confidence attracts. A positive outlook inspires. Humans are herd animals. We follow the pack. If we want to wake the sheep, we have got to attract the sheep. And these people are asleep, walking around oblivious to reality, in a daze of confusion about what is the real cause for the problems of our world. They're lost and misdirected and misinformed, and they don't even realize it. And we have to wake them up. And we don't need all of them, but we need a good chunk. And we have to take a new look at how we're trying to wake them. I think that if we focus more on ourselves, it will happen organically. We work on ourselves. We work on our own confidence. We work on our own belief. Strengthen that. I think that will radiate out and inspire others. This fight we're in involves millions of people standing united. It's the most important part of Bernie's message. Millions of us need to stand united in order to make real change. He says it over and over. He does that because it's true and because it's the most important thing he's saying. We need to own this. We need to realize that this is our fight. The people's power lies in our numbers, and it always has. Nothing, and I mean nothing, none of the benefits or luxuries that we enjoy today were just given to us. Nothing has ever just been given to the people. The people have always fought for and demanded everything that we have. We've forgotten that because for some of us, it's been a while since we had to fight for anything. And we've gotten lazy and spoiled, forgotten how to even fight, forgotten the fact that to get better or to create change, that we've got to fight for it. Not bitch and moan or complain and whine, but stand up, get out there, and get involved. Put in the work every day. Keep moving forward. Keep waking others. Keep going. When enough of us own this responsibility, when enough of us take full ownership of the way things are and realize that we have the power to change it, there are no limits to what we can accomplish. So we are very powerful. And the powers that be, these predators, they understand that. They invest heavily in keeping us dumbed down, distracted, and most importantly, divided to keep us weak. Because they know quite well that when we stand together united, we win. Bernie is telling us the truth when he says that if we stand united by the millions, real change is possible. Drastic, dramatic, real change. We can do that. We have that power. Stop thinking like we're weak. We are strong. Already, we are millions strong. Over 2 million people are even actively volunteering to get Bernie elected president. Millions of us have donated and are supporting our candidate in a way that is allowing him to run a fantastic campaign at a front runner level. We are warriors, and we need to think that way. Believe we can win this because we can. Know that this is the right path. This is the way to real progress. And don't let anyone ever break your spirit or crush your will. Stay upright. Keep fighting. The weak will try to get you to quit, to lay down with them, and it's attractive. I'm not going to lie, but progress doesn't lie down that road. That road is a literal dead end. Stay standing up. Stay loud. Keep fighting. Do all that you can. I include a link in the description of every Daily Bern to BernieSanders.com. Please go there and see if there's any way you can help the campaign, maybe by donating or becoming one of the 2 million of us that are volunteering to get Bernie elected. But while you're there, quick homework assignment that I give my viewers of this show. Get a bumper sticker. Put a bumper sticker on your car. The campaign is asking that you do this, and I am jumping on board and asking too because it's a really easy way to show support, and people need to see that. Average people need to see this support. It needs to be visible. So get you a bumper sticker, put it on your car, and then just by driving around like normal, you're supporting the campaign. You're promoting the campaign. But be the media. We have to spread this message. The corporate-owned media never will. We have to. We inform regular people. We support the independent media that is doing real journalism and reporting actual news. We do these things. We fight the lies. We spread the truth. We wake the others. We do this. Not Bernie. Us. Now, thanks for stopping by the Daily Bern. We do this every day from politics and stuff. Right now, this is being pre-recorded by necessity. This started off as a live show, and it was going really good, if not for my old outdated computer. We dealt with non-stop technical difficulties that made the feeds unwatchable. So I came up with this idea, and I premiere the videos live. So I'm here right now watching with you if you're here during the live premiere. So feel free to interact with me. But even if you're here later on, keep the conversation going. For one, I like hearing from you, and we'll reply to your comments, but it also helps us get out to more people by doing better in Facebook's little algorithm. You know, I say that every episode, and I've been criticized for saying that, but that's how you share. Sharing, unfortunately, and people don't understand this, is more than sharing. Liking and commenting is also part of what helps you get out and show up better in people's news feeds. So, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. So, I don't care if people shame me for trying to get this out to more people. This message is important, and it needs to get out to more people. So, shame me all you want. I'm going to keep telling people how to promote the show. But real quick, I wanted to add a new segment since we're pre-recording where I go through some of the comments from yesterday on the feed because a lot of people interact with this later on and their comments still weren't being messaged on, or mentioned on the show. So I wanted to get into some of those. There was Robert was here, and Robert was concerned and felt that I was downplaying how dangerous Trump actually is. Because yesterday we talked a lot about in Know Your Enemy how the media is all basically just fear the orange man, Trump this, Trump that, Trump is Hitler, that stuff. And I stand behind what I said. That the media has built a boogeyman in Donald Trump. Now, I am 100% team let's get rid of Trump. I even think we should impeach him, you know, because he's incompetent. That's what I think the Mueller report shows is incompetence. It definitely didn't show Russian intervention in our election, but it did show incompetence. And we can impeach him. I'm for that too. But I think we can just beat him in an election with ideas. You know, let's do that. You know, we're almost there, but I am definitely on the team of let's get rid of Donald Trump in whatever way we need to. I'm not a fan, basically, but He is not the boogeyman he's built up to be. It, he is used as a tool. The corporate media is bought and paid for, and it's used to push an agenda. And right now, Trump is the boogeyman that they are pushing on the public, because what the establishment powers that be plan to run on is, we are not Trump. Vote for us. We're not Trump. We'll take you back to the before times when things were nice and safe. Remember that, when you felt safe, and the media wasn't reporting on all this racism. It still existed, but the media wasn't reporting on it. Remember those times? Don't you want to go back to that? So vote for us. We offer you no real change, no real progress, no real hope. We'll lie to you, tell you we're going to give you these middle grounds, tell you that we're going to meet you in the middle, but we're not. We're never going to. We're going to do the same things, but Orange Man will be gone. Don't you want to get rid of Orange Man? There's a lot more at stake than Donald Trump being president. As embarrassing worldwide as that is, there's a lot more at stake. We are heading towards a literal climate crisis. You want a boogeyman, that's a much better boogeyman than Donald Trump. If you want to inspire me to get scared, you're going to have to do a lot better than Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an embarrassment. Donald Trump needs to go. Donald Trump should not be president. I agree with all those things. But am I going to vote out of fear of Donald Trump? Absolutely not. Am I going to make any decisions out of fear of Donald Trump? Absolutely not. Nothing that I'm doing is based on a fear of Donald Trump. And just removing Donald Trump and replacing him with anybody, any establishment shill, does nothing. Does absolutely nothing. As I said, just takes us back to the status quo. So I wasn't downplaying Trump being dangerous exactly. I was just saying he's not this imaginary boogeyman that's being painted by the media. You know, he's doing what any Republican in his place would be doing. I see nothing different. You know, there's people that believe Donald Trump is some sort of a hero. I don't know what they're basing that on. This Q misdirection propaganda would be my guess, but they give him a lot of credit for things he's never done. And I know he is a very good con man and a good con artist, and he's good at telling people what they want to hear. But, you know, you'd think his actions at this point would have shown these people he's not in your corner, he's not for the average American, and he's not going to deliver on any of his promises. But we need to get rid of him, but we need to get rid of him in the right way. We need to replace him in the right way. We need to move in the right direction. We don't need to move out of fear. That's what I was trying to say when I was saying that they're building him up as something that you should just vote out of fear of. Throw all logic out the window and just vote out of fear of. And I don't think that that's the case. That's what I meant. So I hope that addressed that for Robert. Kathy stopped by and suggested that I refer to the mainstream media as the corporate media from now on, which I like and even think is more fitting because, you know, they are the corporate bought and paid for media. So I think I'm going to do that a little more going forward. I did it in the monologue for you. If you noticed that, I even corrected myself one time and did it for you. But I'm going to try to start doing that. Because that, when I say mainstream media, I know what I mean. You know what I mean. But it doesn't really say what they are in the title. If I say corporate owned media, gets it across. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I think it's clearer. Kathy also suggested an idea. Now, I had already considered this, but wasn't sure how I felt about it because I look at these daily burns as volunteer work. I look at this as part of my volunteering. This is just something I'm doing to help the campaign, you know. I do other shows, and I do have a Patreon account that I raise money for my shows using, but I don't promote that on these. I only include links to Bernie material. You know, there's a link to Bernie's site and a link to his speech on democratic socialism in the description, which I encourage you to watch. If you have not seen Bernie's speech on democratic socialism, I downloaded it in full, and there's a link in the description to my YouTube channel, and you can check it out. The whole video, no ads or nothing. The whole video and the whole speech. Share that out. Get that out. A lot of people need to hear this message. He's tackling the democratic socialism thing head on, and I'm excited about that. And it's a very good speech. So I think it will be a historical speech. Check that out. That's in the description. But I don't self promote during these. But what Kathy suggested and what I'd already thought of is a GoFundMe, doing a GoFundMe to raise money to get a new laptop to be able to do the Burns live, because that's the problem, my old outdated laptop. And I don't know how I feel about that because I plan on doing these every day moving forward. This is going to be something that we do all the way through this fight. And, it would be nice to be able to do these live and interact with you guys during the show and all of that. Um, so, and I'm a ways off from affording a laptop. That saving up for it will take me a while. I mean, I don't even know that I'd get it by the end of this fight, but uh, or by the elections. But I don't know about a GoFundMe. Let me know what you think in the comments about doing that. If you think it's tacky, because like I said, I look at this show as volunteering and like almost a community service. So I feel a little weird asking for anything for myself, but it's not for me, it's for the show. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not sure. Like I said, it kind of violates one of my rules because I don't self-promote on this, and I don't even say my name at the beginning because it's not really about me. I just wanted there to be a show with a positive message for everybody and an inspirational message that told the truth, that acknowledged the fact that we are winning and that this is possible, that got that message out. That's what I thought was important. And as long as that message is getting out, I'm okay. So if you guys are fine with the pre-recorded version, doing it this way, this will work because we'll get the message out in full. There'll be no interruptions. But if you miss that live interaction, I am a laptop away from that because I have tried everything with settings and internet, improving my internet bandwidth, and it all comes down to outdated technology. It comes down to my laptop is so old that it won't even connect to the better internet line that I'm paying for. So that's the problem. And the solution moving forward is either to pre-record like this, which I'm okay with. Honestly, to be honest with you, I miss the lives. I miss talking to you during the show, um, and all of that. And I like the interaction, and I like the fact that it got more interaction. We got about twice as much likes, comments, and shares when we were live, even after the live. People would talk more during the live feed. Um, but I'm going to do a poll on the page on politics and stuff. There will be a poll today on how you would like us to move forward. We can go back to doing it live. Like I said, it'll be glitchy for a little while because I can't do anything about it. I've exceeded the limits of what I can do outside of buying a new computer. Or we can keep with the pre-recorded. And I'm going to do a poll on the page and see what people think. This is the third day of the pre-recorded, and I think it's going pretty well. But let me know what you think. We're going to get into Bernie events real quick. The campaign is not actively touring at the moment, but what they are focusing on right now is opening campaign offices. We are opening campaign offices all around the country. We have opened, for example, 12, I think, in the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, 2 weeks, uh, and 6 of them in New Hampshire, three, I believe, 3 or 4 in Iowa. I can't remember exactly if it was 3 or 4, and then one in Vegas, and then there were some that opened in California. A lot of them opening up. Um, that's one thing that Bernie has said that they've had trouble keeping up with is how much support and how fast the support has come in. That they're needing to open these campaign offices, increase the pace that they're opening these campaign offices because they can't keep up with the demand and the support. Like the demand for, yard signs and the demand for places for call centers and the demand for just volunteers on the ground. They haven't been able to keep up with that. So that's great. You always want to have that problem than the other problem. You know, you're inspiring too many people. That's a great problem to have. But that's what they're focusing on. And then Bernie recently announced his anti-endorsement list, which I love. Go to his site and check it out. I'm going to give you some highlights from it right now that I thought were honorable mentions. But the full list you can find on BernieSanders.com, which, as I said before, is in the description of the feed. So, but some of the highlights off the anti-endorsement list, and these are people Bernie does not want their support, doesn't care what they think about him. The Home Depot co-founder Kenneth Langone, and again, I don't care if I mispronounce any of these people's names. These people are scum of the earth, and their greed is crippling society. So just like Bernie, I don't care about their opinion of me or what they think. I won't be seeking to have a Home Depot ad on the show anytime soon. So I don't care if I'm saying his name wrong. Disney CEO Bob Iger is also made the list of people Bernie does not want an endorsement from. Now Disney owns a lot of media, so does that mean Bernie does not want endorsements from ABC, etc.? I don't know. And then this one I had to mention because this one it raises a little red flag for me, but I'm a conspiracy guy. Some of you know that I host a show called Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and but this one raised a red flag for me. Former Federal Reserve Chair Alan Greenspan has made the anti-endorsement list. And you're talking about this list isn't 100 long. This list is a dozen people. One of them's a think tank. And Alan Greenspan made that list. And some of you know not only that the Federal Reserve itself is as Federal Express and a corrupt institution. We can do a whole show on that. But Alan Greenspan himself is responsible for a lot of terrible things that benefited the ultra rich. So I thought it was interesting that he made the list. You know, there could be some double meaning there. I'm not going to read too much into it because this is not the conspiracy theory show. But um, I think you know what I'm talking about. Real quick, we'll get into Know Your Enemy before we wrap up for the day. Know Your Enemy is the segment of the show where I go through all the big mainstream media sites, all the big ones, and pull out anything that they're talking about that I think we'll be dealing with moving forward, anything I think we need to know about, any hit pieces and propaganda, etc. Um, it's very repetitive. That's something that I've learned. I've been doing these for about 2 months, and the thing I've learned the most about the mainstream media, because never in my life have I ever focused on the mainstream media as much as I do for this little show. Main thing I learned is it's very repetitive. They have the same stories every day. They move them around the page, but for the most part, 90% of their pages don't change from day to day. So it became very hard to start selecting stories. I wanted to cover 4 a day, but that became a challenge right away. But what I noticed in an example of how repetitive the pages are, for instance, one of the sites I go to every day for this is NPR. I go there every day and I look at their politics section every day. And on the very front page, top, before you even have to scroll, for a month and a half, there has been the same Pete Buttigieg story for a month and a half, solid, prominently featured on their page. Ridiculous. But I had to point that out because it's just mind blowing to me. They have teams of writers and editors and all of that. You're in an election season with 25 candidates. You can't fill a page with fresh content each day to where some amateur guy like me can fill a 30-second segment on his show with your garbage. But another thing I noticed is establishment shills are rushing to defend Nancy Pelosi. AOC pointed out how Nancy Pelosi basically shits all over her at every given opportunity and how she thinks it's because she's a minority. It's not. It's because she's progressive. But Harris, for example, has rushed out to defend Nancy Pelosi, saying that Harris is not against minorities. or that Pelosi's not against minorities, and that's not the reason that she's negative towards AOC, and it's not. She's negative towards AOC because AOC is not friendly to the big money interests that have made Nancy Pelosi very wealthy. That's why she's negative towards AOC and AOC's squad, which I don't fully know if I trust any of that. The squad. Um, Again, that would be for the conspiracy show. I love that they're getting that message out there. I just always thought it was a little odd that the mainstream, the corporate media, is covering AOC and does cover AOC so much. Fox could give her her own segment on their page. She's on Fox so much, and there's complete media silence on Bernie Sanders. So they don't want this message out there, but they will let it get out through her. Raises red flags for me. But again, tinfoil hat, conspiracy guy. We'll get into that on a conspiracy theories and chill. But someone is running against Mitch McConnell, but she has flaws. I don't know how to feel about this one. Um, I would vote for anybody over Mitch McConnell. So if I was in Kentucky, I would still vote for her. But could someone in Kentucky give me more insight? Uh, I know there's some people involved in the page that are from Kentucky. I am originally from Kentucky, but I'm way out of touch. I haven't lived there in 15 years. So if someone from Kentucky could give me more insight into this lady, but I know she has a CIA background, which for me, again, conspiracy guy, I don't like that. But then there's the Acosta firing, which is tied into a bigger story. The biggest story that isn't being covered hardly at all is this Epstein story. The Jeffrey Epstein arrest is the biggest story in the media right now. And this thing is a story to watch. It has the potential to explode. A lot of you know, and Jeffrey Epstein was famous for this for a long time. This for one was no surprise. Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking scandal that's come out. Everyone knew. It was well known. I knew about the Lolita Express and this pedophile island that he has. Even I knew about that for years. And a lot of famous people, a lot of rich and powerful people went to this island, flew with Jeffrey Epstein to this island. Bill Clinton included multiple times, something like 20 times. This has the potential to blow up. And Trump is distancing himself from it. Trump was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, was quoted speaking positively about him, and even in the quote mentioned that he loved young girls. They all knew. They were all involved. And Acosta was involved with the plea deal that Epstein got in the Florida case, which was basically a slap on the wrist. It's less than a slap on the wrist. It's an insult, is what it is, if you look into it. But Acosta stepped down, was fired over the incident, and I would pay attention to this Epstein story. A lot more is going to come out. But another thing that I saw featured in the news today is there was recently there was a Supreme Court case. These people who have been blocked on Twitter by President Trump had sued, and it reached the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided that it was illegal, that President Trump or any elected official couldn't block you on their social media accounts. They had to allow you to have your voice. So AOC is now being sued because she has blocked people. So this this new law is coming to bite AOC in the butt, which is fine. You know, she can unblock these people and settle the lawsuit, whatever. I like the law. You know, you should be able to speak to these elected officials, and Twitter gives you an opportunity to do that. So they shouldn't be able to block you. I like it. And, you know, it will bite us in the ass a little bit, bite progressives in the ass a little bit, and we'll have to take a little abuse because people can be assholes on social media, but you shouldn't be able to block people. You're a public servant. And a lot of them need to remember that. They need to be reminded of that. A lot of them have completely forgotten that. But other than that, the only thing I have written down for Know Your Enemy today is same shit. The same bullshit polls, the same lying polls. They have Sanders at fourth place now, led by Warren, Harris, and then Biden. Biden, they still have him first, but they have Harris creeping on him. They'll be replacing Biden with Harris soon when Biden finishes imploding. Biden will implode. Biden, they know Biden's a flawed candidate. Biden's their biggest loser. I believe, this is my theory, my personal theory. I believe they put Biden out front right in the beginning to play chicken with us progressives, to show us that they're willing to lose. They are. They want us to know. They wanted to send that message right away, and I think they sent that message by putting all their support behind Biden, by showing that they will back 100% their biggest loser, and they will run this car into the tree to to stop us from winning. They will lose. They will run this train right off the tracks. They don't care. They would much rather lose to Donald Trump than allow us to win. And we just need to start seeing our victories, seeing these attacks by the media, seeing this media silence, everything that they're trying to do as victories. The harder they try to stop us, the harder we should fight. We keep moving forward, united and doing all that we can. We are unstoppable. We cannot be beat. So get out there, keep doing all you can, keep fighting, and we're going to win this political revolution. We're going to be responsible for creating massive, dramatic change and giving hope to generations moving forward to keep that change going and to turn society around. We are doing that right now. We are part of that right now. Be proud. Get out there and keep fighting. Thank you for watching the Daily Bern. We do this every day. We'll be back again tomorrow for another episode. Thank you if you shared. Thank you if you commented and liked and all that, participated. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the next episode of the Daily Bern. Get out there and keep fighting.